لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
Sheikh can begin, Sheikh, inshallah.
Can we start?
Yes, Sheikh.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Nabina Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Tonight, Friday, the 16th of July 2021, we have just completed the 5th day of Dhul Hijjah in the year 1442 and started the 6th day of Dhul Hijjah, alhamdulillah. And we have, of course, a continuation of our programs for the week based on the theme that Hajj is a universal pillar towards unity of Muslims in the light of the work Risalah to Nur of Al-Imam Badiuzaman Sa'id al-Nursi rahimahullah wa ghafara lah. Tonight our topic is, of course, that as we have advertised, the Muslims, why have we fallen into this dungeon of inactiveness? And to join us and elaborate on this is Shaykh Yusuf Kara from the Hayrât Foundation, who is, of course, based in Tanzania. And inshallah, he will be enlightening us about this, regarding this topic. Shaykh Yusuf, can you hear us? Shaykh Yusuf, can you unmute yourself, please? We can't hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
First of all, Shaykh Yusuf, we want to apologize for the late start, but alhamdulillah, we are connected now, and so let us proceed without delay with the program. So I'm going to leave without talking too much. I'm going to leave it to you to start explaining regarding the topic of Muslims and our inactiveness, and why have we fallen into this dungeon of inactiveness. Can you proceed, inshallah?
Inshallah. Shukran jazilan, respected Shaykh Faadiel Abdulatief. Inshallah, today, as we have indicated, we will discuss another issue pertaining to the social lives of Muslims. We are trying to cover, inshallah, within the 7 days, we are trying to cover the matter from various aspects. We are meant to be together, we are meant to be hardworking, and we are meant to be relying on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our activities, in being united with each other. When we want to do something, either individually or as a community, now there are some barriers. And as a result, we become inactive. At first, we are very enthusiastic and hopeful and willing to do so many things. But later on, we find ourselves inactive and passive and stopping to do all the initiatives that were taken. So, inshallah, today we are going to try to find out some of the reasons that were mentioned by Imam Badiuzaman Sayyid Nursi, so that inshallah, and I believe many of us have either some of these things. If we find ourselves as inactive at some time, or not being able to do what we want, etc. So we may find the reasons among these lines. Okay. So first of all, life is a, action. So life is an action. So if we are living and if we want to do anything, we should be active always. And in this life, our motivation is the right of our life. Okay. So if we are to say that, for example, when we want to go somewhere, we take a ride. For example, we take a car, we take a motorcycle, we take a bicycle, we take a horse, isn't it? And that horse is our motivation to reach where we want to go. And then we have an intention to go somewhere, and then with this intention we take our ride. But then we get out of our ride on the way, which means we are losing our motivation to go to that place. And there are some reasons that make us lose our motivation, right? There are some reasons that make us lose our intention and motivation to go to the desired destination. And we are ourselves getting out of our ride. So today, inshallah, although we want to take the ride and go to where we want, why we are getting out of this ride, which means why we lose motivation and why we quit our intentions, inshallah, we will try to understand these things today. So, in anything, this can be in things pertaining to the world and in things pertaining to akhirah. In anything, when we want to do something, of course, that thing is a constructive thing, that thing is useful, that thing is halal, and then the shaitan will come and try to, demotivate us, and he will, push a lot of things before us so that, we can lose our motivation and we can decide not to do it, and we decide quitting that objective. So what are they? Number one, hopelessness. Okay, hopelessness. The fiercest of those enemies that come and that take us down from our ride, that is a horse. Okay, we're taking a horse to go somewhere, but on the way we're falling down from the horse. So what is the reason? The first reason, we lose our hope. So we fall into the dungeon of hopelessness. So why does that take place? And what is our, we have a sword to, knock down our enemy, and our enemy is hopelessness. How to knock down our enemy? That is, the ayah, لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله. Don't despair from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. When we want to do anything, as we say, either for the world, for example, we are studying, okay, we are working, or for the sake of Allah, we want to do anything, okay, I mean, of course, a study, a work can also be for the sake of Allah. But what I mean, even if for the matters of the world, purely, not for the sake of Allah, only for the sake of earning money or doing something, we may, or in the matters related to Akhirah, and the matters related to Islam. And the first thing that we will face is, no, I can't do it. We become hopeless. That's beyond my capacity. I can't do it, isn't it? For example, as an association, we want, we find something in the society and we say we should do something, all right? And then we become, once we start, doing it, for example, we see a community, we need to help them. Let's say financially, we need to help these orphans, for example. And then once we start, right after we start, the first thing, hopelessness. No, we can't do it. The hopelessness will come and it will tell us that no, you can't do it. So then how we are going to respond to it? Okay, what is hopelessness? What is hope? Hope in us or hope in Allah? Actually, hope is in Allah. If our hope stems from ourselves, then that hope actually doesn't exist. because there is nothing to hope from ourselves, because we have nothing. We have nothing but powerlessness and poverty and mistakes, isn't it? Everything is from Allah. Every goodness is from Allah. And once again, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ma asabaka min hasanatin fa min Allah. Whatever good comes to you is from Allah, and whatever of evil comes to you is from your nafs. So whatever good happens to us in our life, it is from Allah, it is not from us. So is it that in the beginning we were hopeful because we believed ourselves, we believed in our potential and our skills and our knowledge, etc., and then we fall hopeless, right? No, that should not be the case in the beginning also. In the beginning, we should not rely on our personal skills. We should rely only on Allah. Because what we call as skills, what we call as even the basic ability of seeing, comes directly from Allah. We can't control anything in our body. We can't control anything in our body. We just intend to use what is inherent in our body, and that is all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the one who is Al-Qayyum, who keeps everything standing, who keeps everything, living. Allah is the one, not we. We only use whatever is available with us. And that is only intention. We intend to do something, but Allah, if He doesn't want, we can't do it. If He wants, we can do it. So then, hope is only from Allah. So then, we should not know, we should not think of any ability and any skill, any potential within ourselves. Rather, we should say, we have powerlessness and Allah is Al-Qadir. We have poverty, absolute needs, and Allah is Ar-Rahim, Al-Ghani, Al-Jawad, Al-Kareem. So we have poverty, we have endless needs, and Allah is endlessly rich and merciful and giving. And we have endless powerlessness, and Allah is absolutely powerful. So if we have an ability and a skill, that is to know ourselves, to be unskillful, to be nothing, and to know that everything comes from Allah. And entire hope rests with Allah. That is why we can't be hopeless in anything. Because being hopeless, ulama says this is against Iman. Because Allah says, don't be hope, لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله. Don't despair from the mercy of Allah. So our hope is only in Allah's mercy, Allah's benevolence, not in us. That's why we have no right to be, hopeless, right, in our affairs. We should not be hopeful because of ourselves, and we should never be hopeless again because of ourselves, because our hope is only with Allah, always with Allah. So since Allah's mercy never stops, isn't it? Do we have any doubt that Allah's mercy will not come to me? Allah will forget me. If I'm doing something for the sake of Allah, if I'm doing something that is halal, that is good, that is okay, that is permissible in Islam, then Allah will forget me. Allah will not help me. Allah will not listen to me. Allah will not hear me. That's absolutely impossible. We do our best, and our hope is in Allah only, not in anything else, not in another person, not in our skills, anything. But then, if Allah wills it not to happen, it may not happen. And then we have tawakkul. We do our hope in Allah, and then we do tawakkul. If it is executed, if it is accomplished, then it is. Otherwise, there's no problem. So whatever we do, we first, take our hope in Allah, and as we, go about it, inshallah, Allah will also help us to do it. So the first enemy when we want to do anything is hopelessness, and that is of no use, because hope doesn't stem from us; it is with Allah, and that source of hope is never ending. That's why we shall not be hopeless at all. And hopelessness has also some sorts. Sometimes we become hopeless. No, I can't do it. This is the first level of hopelessness. In some instances we say, no, I can't do it. In second instances, we say, no, no one can do it. This is the second level of hopelessness, a higher level. We say, no, no one can do it. No one. And then the third level, this issue can't be done. It is impossible to do it. Impossible to do it. So this is unfortunately a very utmost level of hopelessness, which is called qunut. La taqnatu, absolute hopelessness. And this is against Iman. Yeah. Okay. So the second enemy of our intentions and motivations is the inclination to how to say, to surpass other people. Okay, to surpass other people, to be at the forefront. So that is another. Okay, now we are, let's say we have killed the first enemy, that is what? Okay, hopelessness. Now we are not hopeless, we are hopeful. Okay, we are hopeful in Allah, we are hopeful. And then second, the shaitan never stops, isn't it? Shaitan brings a lot of complications so that we don't accomplish what we want. The second one is, okay, now you believe you can do it, now you should do it best, better than anybody else. You should be best at this, what you are doing. You should be best, in this issue, better than anybody else around. And now shaitan brings to us this second issue. Okay, and then with this one, this is another, actually, it's very tricky. It's very tricky. Normally, again, this is something difficult, isn't it, to be best? And when someone cannot be best, again, he's demotivated. Again, he's demotivated. So again, we shall not fall into this trap of shaitan. And why necessarily we should be at the forefront? Why necessarily we should be the best in what we are doing? Right? We shall just do it, and we will do it as much as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us with. And we should actually make ta'awun with others rather than rivaling with others. We are supposed to make ta'awun with others. This is what is obliged in Islam. Again, if we take it as rivalry, so we will not make ta'awun with others, and we will disunite with others. Because you want to be at the forefront all alone. You want to be known as, oh, this organization is the best one. You want to be, if you want to be known, oh, this person, this alim, this man, you want to be alone, known individually as the perfect one. So you will do what? You will disunite with others. You will appear always alone, so that people call you, so that people look at you alone only. So unfortunately, this inclination to surpass others has this kind of side effects. And unfortunately, and ultimately, that person or that organization, if not able to surpass all others, again will be demotivated and will quit the objective. So we should be for Allah. Kunu lillah. Okay, we should be doing it only for the sake of Allah, not for the sake of being the first at this issue. Okay, now if we again do away with the second barrier, that is inclination to surpass others, the third barrier comes, which is haste and impatience. And now we want to, when you walk up the stairs, what you do you take the steps 3 by 3, 5 by 5, or you take it 1 by 1? Even 2 by 2 is risky, isn't it? So now another problem is, okay, do it, but haste, do it quickly, haste in doing it. So this is another trick of the shaitan, and someone who intends to do things quickly and in a haste, again, will be unsuccessful, and at the end, again, will lose the motivation and intention to do so. So we should follow the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as prescribed in Surah Al-Imran, verse 200. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu isbiru ya ayyuhalladhina amanu isbiru wa sabiru wa rabitu wattaqullaha la'allakum tuflihun. O you who believe, persevere and endure and remain stationed and fear Allah, that you may be successful. So we should follow the steps. We should be patient in following the steps correctly and adequately, and we should persevere and endure in each station so that we can be successful. Okay, so let's say we have also done away with the third obstacle, the third barrier, the third enemy, that is the haste. And now a fourth one is coming. A fourth one, that is individuality, to be individual, not with anybody else, and to be individual. So this one is unfortunately is another problem, that I have to be alone and individual, not with anybody else, and this is another problem. And as Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, خياركم خير الناس من ينفع الناس أو خير الناس أنفعهم للناس. So there are two narrations on this. So the best of humanity are the ones who are helpful for the others, for the people. So rather than try to be alone and best, we should collaborate, and we should be helpful, and we should be collaborative with others. And a fifth problem is not having. Okay, is the fifth one is again relying on yourself, and then rather than what we should do, rather than doing this, what we should do, we should rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not relying on other people, as people. What is the problem here? We say, okay, there's going to be something will be done, okay, let others do it. Okay, no, we should not rely on other people to do it. We should rely to do something on our capacity, okay, with our intention, whatever Allah blesses us with. And then we should have tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever can be done will be done. All right. So another thing, don't do it, just leave it to others. Don't do it. There are so many other people around you, don't you see? Just leave it to them. Are you the only organization? Are you the only person to do it? Don't do it. Not necessarily. There are a lot of other people who can do it. So just leave it to others so that they should do it. They're the ones to do it, etc. So, but instead, what we should do, we should start doing it, and we should have tawakkul in Allah. Whatever success we can do, maybe we don't see ourselves as an individual, as an organization at that capacity. We see another organization to do that better, or another person to do that better, but still we are responsible to do something. It is not that you do and you don't do. There is no such things. Everyone should do on their capacity with ikhlas, and maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them with such great success that is, that could never be imagined. And the sixth one, oh, sorry, I just somehow mixed the fifth and the sixth. The sixth one is, so the fifth one, to separate from the sixth one, the fifth one is, because of others people's laziness, you also become lazy. Okay, you also become lazy and don't do it. And we should not be lazy. We should do and rely on Allah, do tawakkul. And the sixth one is to look at other people and to leave the job to other people. Although you can also do, and you leave it to others. So that's also not what should be done. And we should, do our duty, and they should be their duty. And seventh point, when we want to do something, again, we are motivated, and there's another risk here. There's another trap. That is intervening into the, affairs and plans of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We do something, and then we say, okay, let it happen. It should happen. It must happen. If it doesn't happen, for example, we find ourselves as unsuccessful. All right? And that thing to happen becomes our objective sometimes. Rather, it should be that we do it only for the sake of Allah. We are not responsible to accomplish. We are only responsible to initiate and intend and start. That is our responsibility only. All right? So that's why, again, we do whatever we have to do, and we should not, intervene in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plan. We just have to be straight as we are commanded, right? So, فَاسْتَقِمْ كَمَا أُمِرْتَ, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decrees, be straight and, straight, as firm and straight as you are commanded. And the last one, okay, the sixth point is the inclination to comfort. Okay, so, and sometimes again we want to be, just resting in the sofa of laziness, we should say. We just want to be lie down and sit and watch. Or when we want to do something, we attend, and then after some time we become tired and we become lazy. So the inclination towards, laziness and comfort, too much comfort, will overwhelm or will face us, will face anybody. Again, that is another thing that will spoil our himmah, that will spoil our motivation, and that will throw us into laziness. And we should take the sword of وَأَن لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. There is nothing for man except for what he does, what he works for. So we have to do something so that we can gain something as a result. And even, you know, there is the pleasure in rest, and there is pleasure in working. There is a pleasure in working. So, for example, if someone sits all day, what happens? He becomes tired, actually. He becomes sleepy and tired if someone is sitting. Or if someone is sleeping, as he sleeps, he will be more and more and more sleepy. All right. Or when someone works, he takes a pleasure in working. So actually, action is a pleasure in and of itself. Action is a pleasure in and of itself. So there is a proverb in our language, in Turkish language, we say in English, a functioning, you know, steel is not stained. A functioning steel is not stained. An active steel, you know, a used steel is not stained. So when something is always actively used, right, it will never get worse. It will always shine, and it will always, you know, be active and positive. So when we work, when we act, we will be positive, we will be energetic, and we will be successful also. Allah will bless us with success. So actually, the inclination to comfort and to you know, resting, etc., is actually against our fitrah. Is against our fitrah. We are not created for, you know, for resting and this and that. Even when we look at our, when we look into the micro world, into the cells and atom and everything, into this, you know, the wood, whatever you see around it, it actually does not stop. It is not still. It is actually a lot of activities. It is spinning, it is turning, it's acting. The small particles in that, they are always active and spinning around, right? The nucleus. So actually everything is active. Life is an activity. If we are not active, then we will actually go against the nature of everything. We will go against the nature of creation, against the nature of ourselves, and we will be even unhappy at the end. And for those who are by nature excited and, you know, energetic and enthusiastic, their happiness lies in their activeness. Their happiness lies in their activeness. So this way we can, inshallah, sum up and finish our 8 points of, you know, the reasons, the causes of falling into the dungeon of laziness. So if we are to summarize quickly, inshallah, first, when you want to do anything individually, for example, you want to write a book, you want to do something, so the first thing, okay, is no, you can't do it. So what we are going to say, I can do it if Allah wills, because I don't do it myself. I just rely on the mercy of Allah, in which I can never be hopeless. So there is no space, there is no room for hopelessness. All right, just like there is no room for hope in us. We are always hopeful in Allah, and hope in Allah can never finish, can never end. The mercy of Allah can never end. We are only hopeful because of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then when we gain our hope again, and when we continue our journey with our ride, with our house, with our car, or with our organization, when we continue, and then the second one will come, okay, now you should be best at this. And this is again another, you know, barrier, because you may not be best, and again you will again lose your motivation, etc., etc. And we are not supposed to be best, we are just supposed to make ta'awun with others. And third, if you can do away with this one, thirdly it will come hasting in something. Again, this is not following the due steps in doing anything, and this is again against the fitrah, against the sunnatullah. We should follow the necessary steps of anything. We should be patient enough. And fourthly, okay, if you want to do it, then do it alone. Don't do it with others. No, I am supposed to do it for others, not for myself, not for my own benefit, right? Not as an individualist, not for my own benefit, but for the benefits of others, I should do it. So this is the fourth one. And the fifth one is, okay, everybody is lazy, so let me be lazy also. I have an excuse to be lazy, right? So everyone is lazy, and then again losing the motivation and intention. Again, we don't have this, because it is only we start doing something and we make tawakkul to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are responsible to do ourselves. Everyone is responsible on themselves. And sixth, we shall, we shall not leave the matter to other people, and the other people also leave it to others. So this way, again, we will be inactive, they will be inactive, the thing will not be done. If we see anything, now we are responsible for that. If Allah makes to help, so we are responsible for that. We cannot leave it to others, because Allah made us meet that person. And third, okay, we are doing, but we shall never intervene in the affairs of Allah. We shall never intervene in the plans of Allah, right? So our duty is just to do whatever we can, and the result is up to Allah. We are not responsible for result. We are not successful when we accomplish. We are successful when we do it, when we intend and when we start to do it. And we are successful or not, that's not our duty. And eight, and the last one, is inclination to too much comfort and resting. And that is, again, another reason that is quite, of course, widespread, right? Not to disturb ourselves and let it go the way it is. Unfortunately, this is another issue, and we shall strive always, because our comfort is actually in strive. Imam Badiuzaman says, pain, comfort, how we say in Turkish, rahmettedir. Rahatta, I just forget the Turkish also, excuse me. Okay, so there is a comfort in working, in functioning, and there is a pain in my brain, thinking about things, and then the pain in my body will come. But then if I don't comfort myself, if I go up, stand up and start working, and then the pain will go, and then the comfort, real comfort, will come. So we should choose either to go up and then comfortably go down, or we should choose to go up first, to go down first, and then go up the second stage, which is long lasting in pain. So that is the end of, inshallah, my presentation today.
Sir Yusuf, you said something. You said that very often we have this idea that I can't do it. So if I cannot do it, then someone else cannot also do it, because I cannot do it. And when someone else cannot do it, then no one else can do it. And then we say it's impossible to do it.
Yeah.
So that seems to be quite a regular occurrence amongst many of us.
True.
It's a very negative idea of working and action.
Yes, true. This is a psychological disease. This is an imanic disease, we should say. Because everything is related to iman, and accomplishing things in life, hope is related to iman directly, because Allah says, don't lose your faith, don't lose your hope with Allah, with the mercy of Allah. So at the first stage, it is quite innocent. I can't do it. Something in question. I can't do this. And secondly, no one can do this. And thirdly, it can never be done. This is unfortunately increasing, an increased level of hopelessness. And that is actually a sickness. Some people, unfortunately, around us are like this. They are very pessimist. They are always spreading pessimism to others. But we should be hopeful. We should say, no. We are believing in Allah, and Allah is with us. If Allah wills us to do this, we will do this. If Allah doesn't will us to do this, we will not do this. So let us rely on Allah and do it.
Yeah, no, that's correct, inshallah. So Yusuf, in conclusion, inshallah, we will have you back with us on Sunday to end off our series for the week. We look forward to that, inshallah. And
Inshallah.
tomorrow night, we will, of course, have Shaykh Hamza again back with us, Saturday night, inshallah. So everyone who is connected to us, we invite everyone to link up with us again tomorrow night for our next topic that we will be discussing, inshallah. And so in conclusion, Shaykh Yusuf, we want to ask you to make a dua, inshallah.
Inshallah. Amin. Auzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin ve l'âkıbetu lil muttaqin ve salatu ve selamu ala Resulina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecma'in. La ilahe illallah el-azimul halim. La ilahe illallah Rabbul arşil azim. La ilahe illallah Rabbus semavati ve Rabbul ardi ve Rabbul arşil kerim. Allahümme erinel hakka hakkan ve rızkına ittiba'ahu ve erinel batile batilen ve rızkına iştinabe. Rabbena la tuzi kulubena ba'de iz hedeytena ve heb lena min ledunke rahmeh inneke entel vehhab. Allahümme inna nes'eluke min hayri ma se'eleke minhu Muhammedun nebiyük sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. Ve na'udhu bike min şerri ma sta'adeke minhu Muhammedun nebiyük sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. Allahümme erinel hakka hakkan ve rızkına ittiba'ahu ve erinel batile batilen ve rızkına iştinabe. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك أنت الرؤوف الرحيم اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من الراشدين اللهم ارزقنا في الدنيا حبك وحب من يقربنا إليك والاستقامة كما أمرت وفي الآخرة رحمتك ورؤيتك آمين يا رب العالمين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have a good rest, inshallah, until we meet again on Sunday, inshallah. Shukran, jazakumullah khairan.
في أمان الله.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك